Arith, I thought I would do something novel today. I thought I'd review something that I like. Crazy thinking, isn't it? We have got The Thing, issue 28 from 1985. This is the one where he becomes a professional wrestler. It is issue 28. Mine has a little ink mark that makes the 8 look like a 9. Or that might just be my bad eyesight. This cover, I went in thinking this cover was a direct remake of a Jack Quimby cover. I was thinking Fantastic Force 92, but it's not. It's got a similar bit, but I don't think it was meant to be anything more than a slight tip of the hat to that one. We start the proceedings with Thing, Benjamin Thing. He has joined a motor bicycle gang. And the motor bicycle gang, they are really lame. They are called Team America, but are also known as the Thunder Riders. The issue before this one set up much of this. They were flailing around for a direction for this series, I think, and that seemed like one, but they got rid of it fast to do the wrestling idea instead. Thing joined Team America to impress his latest crush, Miss McDonald's, but he didn't realise that the space on Team America he was filling was hers. I thought I would explain Team America in this, but no. If you want to know more about them, say so down below. I actually do have some very detailed understandings of how Team America came to be. I asked Jim Tomatoes about it once. He wrote their first appearance in Captain America, and they were forced onto him, but I'll explain that in another video if you want. Without the object of his lust there, Thing has little motivation to stay with Team America. This is something that I'd expect would make Thing look like the complete arse that I think he is. But we actually have nice framing of it. Thing, he's not as much bothered that he isn't into it at all, but that his heart not being in it means he is not dedicated or committed or focused on the actual act of motor bicycling, and so that might manifest in him causing an accident or causing harm to the rest of Team America. Along for the ride, pun there, along for the ride we have Vic Astro Boy, teenage runaway. He has started following Thing around and providing support and friendship. Vic Astro Boy is future New Warriors member Major Victory and future Galactical Guardians member Justice. As I said, Vic has ran away from home, and Thing bumped into him at a circus, and the two have been travelling companions for this run. I really like this pairing, Thing and Vic Astro Boy. It was a dynamic that gave Thing someone to help balance him and provide a sounding board for Thing. Team America, they are crap. And Thing abandoning them straight away makes him look like shit. But, again, everything is done here to make it so that there's nothing nasty about this. They are understanding towards Thing, and Thing is aware that he is screwing them over. But it's all pulled off in a way where none of them come across as selfish or twats. That night, while staying at a Holiday Inn, Vic is watching something on TV, and you don't want to know how long I spent trying to identify what it is meant to be. He's watching what I assume is some shite 1985 Proto Beverly Hills 90210, and the thing tells him to turn that junk off. And so they switch over to the wrestling. By chance, there is a call out by a guy that at first I thought was modelled after Marky Mark G, but we see more of him and I don't think he is. They are seeking new wrestlers with super strength to join the Unlimited Wrestling Class Federation, incorrectly called the Unlimited Class Wrestling Foundation on this page. This gives Thing and Vic the idea that Thing should try out. Thing wrestling isn't a new idea. There was that Togo story, the one mentioned at the start, and there was the Gary Conman one with Hulk in giant size superstars or giant size superheroes or whatever it was. There's the Marvel 2-for-1 where he and some others participate in a cosmic boxing match. And you know me, oh, I love the boxing, me, always talking about the boxing. It's the one thing with me, I love the boxing. I'm always talking about the boxing and watching the boxing. It's the one thing. I have always loved the boxing on the telly. All this to say, it's not an original idea, but what makes it fresh and unique is that we are exploring it in the long term. Those other ones were a story or an issue. This will remain the book's status quo until its end at issue 36. We only get 9 issues of it, but back then, 9 issues meant something. We do get a lot of use out of the new environment and the new scenarios offered to the character. The main one would be the one everyone remembers, is his wrestling match with Beyond a Man, the Secret Worlds II crossover. But we also have the Vic Astro Boy stuff. I reviewed that one. We have the Glorious Women of Wrestling. We have the introduction of some half-important characters like Miss McDonald's. And the other main one is this guy, Dennis Dunphy, Demolition Dunphy. This is his first appearance. And you wouldn't know it if not for his name, but this, of course, is D-Man. He returns in Captain America and befriends Cap, and becomes one of Cap's partners for a while. I don't like calling him Cap. It doesn't sound right calling him Cap. His name is Captain America. That is the other thing. All of this stuff, while very niche and off in the corner, all of it has so much use in Marky Mark G's Captain America. Not just D-Man. Many of the other wrestlers we meet along the way, they will show up as fodder in Captain America over the years. The backstory behind how many of these superfluous characters received super strength will be a major fucking fixture in Captain America. Other characters, like Us Agent, have history linking themselves to the UCWF. These things don't excite you, but they sure as shit excited me. I loved going back and finding these and seeing how heavily they do play into so many Captain America issues. There are some problems with this setup. Not for the Thing. I think it's great on that front. It is allowing Thing a new series of stories to tell. The problem is that what this does to the Marvel Universe. All these wrestlers have super strength. They are capable of fighting Thing. They're not all D-Man either. Next to D-Man we have like 10 other guys with super strength, and it really makes the superheroes look not so special. It makes super strength seem commonplace. As the run continues on, we get more and more introduced. More wrestling characters with super strength. I would estimate over 30 by the end. And it's just not right to have randos floating around with legitimately superhuman strength and they don't matter. I think there were far more than enough characters in the Marvel Universe that could have been reappropriated for this. Smokey Bear. He hadn't appeared since his first stories in Spider-Man, but he already had the wrestling background. Instead of offering Hamill and Anchovy to Scourge, they could have been repurposed as a tag team. There's more than a few Scourge victims who could have been used here instead. And overall, the point is there's so many characters with either histories or generic strong powers that you can draw from. We do actually bring in some of Marky Mark G's super wrestlers from Marvel 2 for 1. That is great, that is sensible, and it is a shame we didn't see that sort of thing more, rather than cluttering up the list of Marvel characters with superhuman powers with Red Zeppelin or Mangala. Even with my griping about the poor universe dilution that this gives us, I do really enjoy it. D-Man, standout character straight away. The promoter tries to pay D-Man to take a fall and lose to Thing, and you get here and you start to grumble thinking, you know exactly where this is going. But refreshingly, it doesn't. D-Man refuses the money. He wants a fair fight with Thing. And then Thing, he confronts the promoter and convinces him and insists on the wrestling always being legit. No fixers, no phony acting, no hoaxes, just proper wrestling. What we have now is a fight between Thing and D-Man. And I never have much to say when it comes to fights. But this one is decent. It feels a bit short though. I think we spent so long setting up our plot and getting Thing into this place that we only have about 4 pages to actually showcase this fight. D-Man, he fights his best, but Thing wins. You might as well have just took the money. D-Man will continue to appear in this series. And glancing over at the letters page, it's reminded me, I forgot to mention that Thing would also be appearing in West Coast Avengers shortly after this. That was actually Royce Sternham's idea, by the way. Thing and West Coast Avengers. That was one of his plans before they made it an ongoing and gave it to Steve Englehart. I would end this now, but look, there is a Secret Wild's II advertisement with a non-existent Doctor Strange cover. It is a mock-up of a cover that uses his art from the Andy book. The actual cover was this, Doctor Strange vs. Beyond a Man. Seems the time to announce that I will be reviewing that. I intend to do a Peter Gilbert week soon. A week of reviews of Peter Gilbert comics. A writer I don't like, but the week will take on somewhat of a different tone. Now that I have announced that, it means I can't keep going, and I'll do it later. I feel I have to do that within 2 or 3 months now. I've committed to it. It's not just going to be 5 reviews of me shitting on a dead man. Although my video shitting on him after his death got a lot of views. No, there's other things. I don't like them, but this comic has naught to do with them. So let's cap that discussion and instead focus on this issue. It's a good start to the new direction. I think it navigates some situations very well, and the wrestling does provide an exciting change of pace for the character and his title. I've not mentioned the writer or the editor because I don't want every video on this to be me repeating the same point. The writer or writers of this did a good job here, and that is what needs to be said. So I'll give it 7 thumbs up.